The information in this video is for educational and informational purposes only and is not financial advice. Please consult with a qualified professional for any financial decisions.
Welcome, everyone, to The Seed and the System, Beginner Guide to Budgeting and Finance. I'm Professor Eliot Stone.
And I am Dr. Heinrich Baum, your companion on this journey of financial cultivation.
You know, Heinrich, when we talk about budgeting, I get it. For a lot of folks, that word lands with the same thud as seeing your phone battery hit 10% when you're miles from a charger. Frustrating, right? Maybe it makes you think of restriction, of spreadsheets that look more complicated than a server rack, or just that vague sense of dread, like knowing you should clear out your overflowing download folder, but later.
Indeed, Eliot. That feeling of overwhelm, of facing a tangled garden plot, is so very common. But what if, dear listener, we could gently reframe that? What if budgeting wasn't about thorny restrictions, but about discovering the most fertile soil for your own dreams to blossom?
Exactly. That's what this book is all about. We're going to ditch the confusing jargon and the outdated approaches. Think of this as your guide to upgrading your personal financial operating system. We'll dive into the practical nuts and bolts, getting a clear data stream on your spending, tracking it without the usual headaches, setting goals that actually fire you up, and picking budgeting methods that sync with your life in this digital age.
And crucially, we will also tend to the heart of the matter, the emotional landscape where our financial habits take root. We'll explore how to navigate those feelings of anxiety or uncertainty and cultivate a mindset of resilience and gentle confidence.
We want to move you from feeling like your finances are running random background processes to confidently directing your resources towards what actually matters to you. It's about empowerment, not about feeling like you're stuck on a low data plan for life.
So, whether you're just starting to plant your first financial seeds or looking to bring new vitality to a garden that feels a bit neglected, you're in the right place. This is about nurturing clarity, building strength, and finding a little more peace on your path.
Absolutely. We're here to show you that managing your money can be insightful, empowering, and maybe, just maybe, not as intimidating as you think.
So grab a coffee, get comfortable, and let's get started with Chapter 1, where we begin to plant the very first seeds of financial confidence. Welcome, dear friend, to the start of a most worthwhile endeavor, the cultivation of your own financial garden. Does the very word budget sometimes feel like a cold wind, hinting at restriction, thorny complexity, or perhaps even a touch of quiet dread? If your heart nods in recognition, know that you are in good company. For many, the path of managing money seems shrouded in fog, a landscape where sacrifice looms large. But what if we could see this path differently? What if budgeting wasn't about building fences, but about carefully tending the soil so that your unique aspirations can truly flourish? This journey we embark on together seeks to reframe that entire notion, revealing budgeting as the most potent tool you possess for cultivating financial clarity, unwavering confidence, and gentle control over your resources. Forget the brittle rules and bewildering jargon. Let us approach this as a process of self-discovery, like learning the unique language of your own garden. Together, we will explore not just the practical steps, the how-to of understanding your spending, tracking with intention, setting goals that resonate with your spirit, choosing the right methods for your personal ecosystem, clearing the weeds of debt, and nurturing consistent savings. But also, crucially, the rich emotional soil from which our financial habits grow. You'll learn to navigate the inevitable seasons of change, a fluctuating income, an unexpected frost of expenses with resilience and grace. By the end of our time together in this guide, you won't simply have a budget like a map tucked away in a drawer. You will hold a personalized map, charted by your own hand, aligning the flow of your resources with the deepest currents of your values, guiding you toward a future landscape defined by security, freedom, and a profound sense of inner peace. Now, let my esteemed colleague, Professor Stone, outline the specific ground we aim to cover in this opening chapter.
Thank you, Heinrich. All right, let's get specific about the objectives for this chapter. I know the word budgeting can sometimes feel like hitting an unexpected paywall on a crucial article. Frustrating and restrictive. Our goal here is to shift that perspective and show you its power. By the end of this section, you will understand the empowering role of budgeting in achieving clear financial data and building genuine confidence. Think of it as upgrading your personal financial operating system from guesswork to strategic insight. Shift away from perceiving budgeting as a restriction, like your phone being stuck on a low data plan, and towards viewing it as a powerful tool for self-empowerment and informed decision-making. Recognize that aligning your budget with your actual dreams and goals actively works to reduce financial stress and anxiety. When your spending is given a purpose, the mental load lightens considerably. With these objectives in mind, let's rejoin Dr. Baum as he delves into taking that important first step.
Let us speak plainly about this first step onto the path of budgeting. Understand that this is far more than a mere tallying of numbers. It is the first courageous act of turning towards your financial life, ready to cultivate control and nurture confidence. At first glance, the notion of tending to every dollar, tracking each small expense, might seem like facing an overgrown, daunting thicket. Perhaps it stirs a flicker of overwhelm, a feeling of, where do I even begin? Yet, acknowledging that very feeling, that initial tremble of uncertainty, is precisely where the fertile ground lies for cultivating clarity and true empowerment. Whether you are a young sprout just beginning your financial journey or a seasoned plant that has weathered past storms of money management, hold this truth close. Every significant harvest begins with planting a single intentional seed. Budgeting is that essential first seed, the start of your map towards a future landscape rich with security and confidence. Your first encounter with the fine details of your financial soil might feel intimidating, like uncovering roots you weren't sure you wanted to see. However, as you gently begin to peel away the protective layers of fear or hesitation, like clearing away old leaves, you will soon discover that budgeting opens a gate not just to financial understanding, but to a deeper self-understanding. Most importantly, it clears the path towards freedom from the heavy mist of anxiety and stress that so often clings to matters of money.
Heinrich speaks wisely about facing that initial apprehension. Now let's tackle a major misconception head-on, one that often acts like a bug in the system, preventing people from even starting the budgeting process. We need to reframe this. Budgeting is about empowerment, not restriction. Say it out loud and believe it. Budgeting is about empowerment, not restriction. Too often, the word budget triggers a negative reaction, making us think of limitation, sacrifice, and cutting out everything enjoyable, like your phone switching to ultra power saving mode, disabling your favorite apps. But the real function, the core code of budgeting, isn't restriction, it's empowerment. It's about giving you clear data. It's about illuminating exactly where your money is flowing. Think of it as running diagnostics on your network traffic or checking which apps are draining your battery. This restructuring, this visibility allows you to make conscious, aligned choices that genuinely support your life goals and what you actually value. Picture your budget not as a cage, but as your personal financial dashboard, a smart, suave assistant providing helpful analytics. Instead of a framework that confines you, see it as the operating system that sets you free from the mental load of uncertainty and guesswork. Budgeting builds a clear financial framework, empowering you with stability and confidence and laying the foundation for financial growth. When you shift your perspective from what I can't have to what I choose to prioritize, you realize that giving every dollar a specific job or tag is a powerful step towards reclaiming control. Budgeting is not about surrendering freedom. It is about securing it through informed, deliberate decisions.
Well spoken. This shift in perspective, from seeing constraint to recognizing conscious cultivation, allows the dual blessings of budgeting to emerge, the strengthening of your financial roots and the blossoming of inner peace.
Exactly. Let's break down those dual benefits systematically. Financial strength. Building real financial strength starts with clearly tracking your income streams and expense outflows. This ensures every dollar has a defined mission, working purposefully towards your objectives. For instance, think of reducing high-interest debt as clearing disruptive malware from your financial system. Building savings is like creating an essential data backup for stability and investing for the future. That's akin to installing performance upgrades for long-term growth. Whether you're focused on eliminating debt, saving, investing, or funding something personally meaningful, your budget provides the crucial operating structure, the practical framework needed to make measurable progress. Peace of mind. Often the underestimated benefit, but it's a major psychological win. When you trade financial uncertainty and guesswork for clear data, the relief can be powerful. Think of it like finally clearing out a cluttered inbox. That nagging anxiety about missing important emails starts to fade. When you know where your money is going and can confidently steer it towards what truly matters, the background mental static reduces significantly. That clarity brings a welcome and noticeable calm. This dual impact, shoring up your financial foundation while simultaneously easing emotional stress, is what elevates budgeting from a perceived chore into powerful, confidence-building habits. Now, let's get into the foundational steps of obtaining this control. The heart of budgeting is taking intentional control over your money's direction, rather than letting unplanned spending habits or unfocused financial stress dictate your path. When you design your budget, you're essentially creating a personalized financial operating system, calibrated specifically for your unique needs, circumstances, and goals. Think of your budget as the architectural blueprint for your financial success. It provides an honest snapshot of your current financial reality, system diagnostics, a strategic roadmap for improving it, your upgrade path. The process begins with these foundational steps. Track your income. Start by clearly identifying and recording all sources of income you receive regularly. Know your input data. Identify primary expenses. List your essential recurring costs, often called fixed expenses. This includes things like rent or mortgage payments, loan installments, car, student loans, insurance premiums, essential utility bills, baseline costs, core subscription services you deem necessary. Even this simple act of logging your income and fixed commitments builds a crucial baseline. It helps you understand your basic spending structure before diving into more variable areas. As you continue this process, and we'll cover tracking methods in detail later, you'll naturally start identifying areas where spending might be optimized or where resources could be reallocated more effectively. With each insight gained and every small, deliberate adjustment made, from the first dollar you intentionally funnel towards savings to cutting back on a subscription you don't use, you build tangible proof of your ability to manage your money. Every successful action becomes a building block, reinforcing your sense of control and measurably boosting your self-belief.
Ah, yes. Building this foundation of control is vital, like ensuring the soil is well prepared. But the true magic, the deep nourishment, comes when we connect this practical structure to the dreams that water our souls. Budgeting finds its most profound power and enduring motivation when it transcends the mere tracking of coin and connects directly with the landscape of your aspirations and the core values that guide your life. When you consciously align your spending, your resource allocation, with what you genuinely hold dear, be it the adventure of travel, the enrichment of education, the security of retirement, the rootedness of a home, or the quiet joy of supporting a cause close to your heart, your budget transforms. It ceases to be a dry, dusty ledger and becomes a vibrant, living bridge connecting the shores of your current reality to the sunlit lands of the future you envision. This vital connection turns budgeting from a potentially mundane exercise into a deeply motivating force. It is no longer simply about trimming costs or hoarding pennies. It becomes the active, intentional clearing of the path towards a life that authentically reflects your innermost desires and guiding principles. Whether your dreams are grand explorations across continents or the quiet sanctuary of financial peace, understanding precisely how each mindful financial decision draws you nearer provides a powerful, heartfelt surge of motivation to stay true to your plan. By weaving the threads of your daily financial choices into the grand tapestry of your long-term vision, you craft a holistic, emotionally resonant strategy. This strategy doesn't just manage money, it propels you with purpose and joy toward the future you have always dared to imagine.
Very poetic, Heinrich. Yes, that connection between the practical steps and the personal why is fundamental. Let's quickly summarize the key takeaways from this introductory chapter before we move on. Key takeaways from Chapter 1. 1. Budgeting as your launchpad. Recognize budgeting not as restriction, but as the essential first step, your empowerment upgrade toward achieving financial clarity and confidence. 2. Empowerment over restriction. Shift your perspective. View budgeting as a tool that enhances your freedom by enabling intentional choices aligned with your values, not as a set of limitations. 3. Dual benefits. Understand that a solid budget builds practical financial strength through control and brings psychological peace of mind by reducing uncertainty and stress. 4. Building a strong foundation. Begin simply by tracking income and essential fixed expenses. Gradually structure your spending to build confidence in your money management skills step by step. 5. Linking to your dreams. Use your budget as a dynamic connection between your current financial reality and your long-term goals. Ensure daily decisions support your deeper values, making the process meaningful and motivating.
Having laid this groundwork, understanding the what and why of budgeting as a tool for liberation, we must acknowledge that the journey often begins by gently confronting the inner landscape. Many find themselves standing at the garden gate, held back by unseen brambles, the shadows of past financial missteps, the whispers of fear, or the stubborn roots of negative beliefs about money. These emotional hurdles can make taking that very first step feel surprisingly difficult. Having established budgeting as a source of empowerment in this chapter, we now turn our gaze inward. In the next chapter, we shall explore why this path can sometimes feel so challenging. We will delve into the common emotional weeds and limiting money beliefs that hinder progress, and most important, we will share gentle, practical strategies to help you cultivate a healthier, more positive mindset, one that prepares the soil for sustainable financial growth and success.
And that, everyone, wraps up our first dive into reframing budgeting. As we've seen, this isn't about putting your financial life into a restrictive lockdown mode. Chapter 1 was all about understanding that your budget is actually your empowerment upgrade. It's the tool that gives you the clear data and control to make informed choices, ditch the guesswork, and actually reduce that gnawing financial stress by connecting your spending to what truly matters to you.
Indeed, Eliot. We've planted the first seed, the understanding that budgeting can be an act of profound self-empowerment, a way to cultivate clarity and align your resources with your heart's deepest aspirations. It's about consciously choosing where your energy, in the form of money, will flow and flourish.
Right. So, we've established the what and the why, budgeting as your launchpad to financial confidence. But let's be real. If it were that simple, everyone would be doing it perfectly, right? The journey often starts by facing those feelings, those mental roadblocks that make even starting feel like climbing a digital mountain.
Ah, yes, the emotional soil. Many of us find that when we stand at the gate of our financial garden, ready to tend it with newfound intention, unseen brambles can make that first step feel surprisingly difficult. The shadows of past habits, the whispers of fear, or the stubborn roots of negative beliefs about money often hold us back.
Exactly. So, having laid the groundwork for budgeting as a tool for empowerment in this chapter, we're now going to turn our focus inward in Chapter 2. We'll explore why budgeting can sometimes feel so challenging. And trust me, it's really not just you.
We will delve into those common emotional weeds and limiting money beliefs that can hinder progress. And most importantly, we will share gentle, practical strategies to help you cultivate a healthier, more positive mindset, one that prepares the soil for sustainable financial growth and true success.
So, stick with us. In Chapter 2, Clearing the Weeds, why budgeting can feel hard and how to push through. We're going to help you debug that mental code and get you ready to build with confidence. You won't want to miss it. And now a word from the creator.
Hey there, I'm Ferguson, an educational researcher passionate about financial literacy, audiobook narration, and telling compelling educational stories that empower and inspire. I'm currently developing audiobooks, podcasts, and episodic content to make financial education more accessible, and I'm exploring innovative AI tools to enhance storytelling. I dream of becoming a published author, and if you enjoy my work and want to fuel future projects, a coffee or two really goes a long way. Please hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, and click the bell icon so you never miss an update. Also, check out the link in the description to buy me a coffee and support my journey. Thanks for being part of this community. See you in the next episode.
The information in this video is for educational and informational purposes only and is not financial advice. Please consult with a qualified professional for any financial decisions.